Again with Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge, who joins us live in Washington. Catherine, here we go. Good morning.
Well, thank you, Bill, and good morning. We confirmed over the weekend that it was a House Republicans' line of questioning that uncovered revelations that in May 2017, senior FBI leadership debated whether President Trump was directed by the Russian government to fire FBI Director James Comey. Contacted by Fox News, Congressman John Ratcliffe of Texas confirmed his questions to former FBI General Counsel James A. Baker uncovered the claims, some of which were first reported Friday by the New York Times. Ratcliffe called the Baker transcript leak selective, adding that the full transcript of the October 18th interview reveals, quote, that in May 2017, political bias infected senior FBI leadership and emotion, not evidence, drove their decision-making, adding FBI senior leadership could not accept Comey was fired for cause, and the president had the constitutional authority to terminate Comey. And as you just heard from President Trump there, he's responded to these reports, labeling the former FBI director a bad and dirty cop, and that he says he did a great service when he fired Director Comey in May of 2017. Of course, House Democrats are going to be taking up many of these issues in the coming weeks, Bill.
So the president's nominee, I mentioned this a moment ago, William Barr, expected to face confirmation hearings. What's the story from that? What would be the lead, do you believe?
What are the atmospherics, right? Well, during his meetings on Capitol Hill last week to prep for this week's confirmation hearings, William Barr was pressed on a whole host of issues, specifically how he would handle the special counsel report. The new chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, Lindsey Graham, said he will lead these confirmation hearings and that Barr had offered him a number of assurances.
I asked Mr. Barr directly, do you think Mr. Mueller's on a witch hunt? He said no. Do you think he would be fair to the president and the country as a whole? He said yes. And do you see any reason for Mr. Mueller's investigation to be stopped? He said no. Do you see any reason for a termination based on cause? He said no.
And another thing to watch is this unsolicited memo that was sent by Barr to the Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein last summer. This is going to be under scrutiny. In the memo, Barr said any obstruction of justice investigation by the special counsel Robert Mueller targeting the president over his firing of Comey and issues related to former National Security Advisor Mike Flynn was not legally sound. That memo reads in part, as I understand it, Mueller, his theory is premised on a novel and legally insupportable reading of the law. Moreover, in my view, if credited by the Department, it would have grave consequences far beyond the immediate confines of this case and would do lasting damage to the presidency and to the administration of law within the executive branch. Here's another senior Democrat in the Senate, Chris Coons, reacting.
I asked about his intention to either recuse himself or seek an opinion from the Ethics Council at the Department of Justice and whether he would follow that regardless of the advice or outcome. We talked more briefly about pardons, about the criminal justice work of the department, in particularly combating violent crime.
One of the wild card, if you will, topics to watch for this week comes from the ACLU. They say Barr laid the foundation for government surveillance programs, and they want senators to press the nominee for his position on things like warrantless surveillance and mass data collection programs.
Thank you, Catherine. More to come.
You're welcome.
Catherine Herridge in Washington.